Well, it took nearly 50 years for 401ks to really catch on, but now half of the private sector workers are saving in 401k style plans, and around 70% have the option to do it. And it's been growing steadily in just the last 10 years. Now, 43% participating in 401ks in 2014. But Ken, I want to come to you on this because we are seeing this growing trend where we're seeing more and more people opting to participate. We're seeing more companies actually making the option available to their companies. That's in part because there's some legal mandates that are going into effect. But just big picture, how big of a deal this is, more saving?
This is a great trend. I mean, this is a great trend. I'd love to see it keep going. We'd love to see the majority of Americans who have the option of a 401k to be investing in that. At Ramsey Solutions, we teach that. You know, we get out of debt, and then we begin, after we get out of debt and put an emergency fund of 3 to 6 months in place, then we're investing 15% of our income. And so we want people to do that above and beyond. That's the ideal. But this power of the 401k is when a company is matching, you are doubling your money, and it is the best way to catch up. I can't tell you how many times we've taken calls on the Ramsey Show where someone will call and say, I'm in my late 40s or I'm in my mid 50s and I have little to nothing saved. Is it too late? And the answer is no. And one of the ways that we advise people to catch up is to take advantage of that 401k and the match. So this is a good sign. I'd like to see more companies offering this, because we've seen in the Great Resignation that happened a few years ago, you guys talked about all the time, that one of the things people want is not necessarily better salary. They want to feel like they're going to have a better life if they work for you. And this is a key benefit to companies, to be able to make their people feel loved, cared for, and valued. So good news here. Let's keep it going would be my hope.
Can you make such a great point about employees wanting to have a good life when they work for a company?
That's right.
Because what we're finding out is that offering a 401k is actually, Taylor, becoming a competitive way to attract employees. When we saw that Great Resignation, we saw that employees actually were put in the driver's seat. So small businesses, the Wall Street Journal is saying, small businesses are now turning to 401ks and competitive matches too to try to attract employees more and more. Do you think that's going to make a difference?
You know, probably. I think especially as Gen Z feels more financially secure, as they feel like home affordability is out of reach. Everything affordability is out of reach for them, that I think any little thing that they can do is helpful. I think Lydia and maybe Brian or Dagan can answer this. One of my big questions lately in my household has been, I always did pre-tax because I liked compounding. But my husband keeps saying, if you look at the debt and the deficit, taxes have to go up in the future, that the tax rate's only going to get higher. So pay your lower tax rate now, do the Roth version, forget about having all the compound, and then at least you know your taxes are done. But I don't ever want to pay the government sooner than I have to. So not to birdwalk a little bit, but the massive debate I'm having in my family is this pre-tax or post-tax contribution.
Well, that's after you've had the debate of should we put money aside, that's the main thing.
Yeah.
Like, are we putting money aside or not? I like the independence of a 401k. I like it being yours and it's not dependent on anybody else. But I kind of wonder about this with younger generations and the fascination with crypto and tokenization. And so they're more interested in investing, but 401ks, Ken, are boring.
Yes. Is
that going to be a problem for a generation that likes investing, but almost more like gambling than kind of slogging that 15% away every year?
It'll be a problem if they don't take advantage of it. I mean, crypto right now is still the wild, wild west. We have no idea what's going to happen. Let's wait and see if governments decide to now regulate it or create their own competition here. So we think it's a very risky play, but the numbers don't lie. If you look at, and anybody that's young think, oh, is this guy just a boomer? Is he just selling this? Go look at the stock market performance over the last 50 years. Look at it. Ups and downs, but consistently, you're going to get a tremendous rate of return. And we have an investment calculator, by the way, that's free. If you go to RamseySolutions.com, you could put in, okay, if I were to invest this much, and by the way, I'm a fan of Roth. I got to jump into the family argument.
Okay.
Well, you do that.
The Roth, I want you to take the hit now.
Really?
And then when you pull it out when you need it, you're not taking a hit on it.
That's not good. Nope.
Oh,
the Roth option.
How much time do we have?
Because using a 401k, it automatically reduces your adjusted gross income. The contributions, because they're pre-tax, it reduces your overall AGI that you report to the IRS. It is one of the greatest tax breaks at your fingertips. And when you retire, you're theoretically not going to be working. So regardless of where the tax rates are, the likelihood of you paying a much higher tax rate when you retire,
in a lower bracket.
you're going to be in a much lower bracket. So again, take advantage of lowering your overall AGI today, particularly when you're in a household with two people working, two spouses working.
Well, to Brian's point, first get in, make the contribution, and then you have that decision to make.